Okay.
Good evening and welcome to Slam the Gavel, the show that tells it all regarding family court, other court issues, as well as CPS. I am your host, Marianne Petrie. This episode of Slam the Gavel is sponsored by CPS Protect Consulting Services. A child protective services case is one of the most frightening experiences for any parent. Don't face it alone. Face it with confidence with Urgent Assist by CPS Protect. You can have access to former CPS investigators to make sure you preserve your rights and protect your family. If you're facing CPS involvement and aren't sure where to turn, their child welfare consultants can help you. Visit cpsprotect.com/subscribe and enter the coupon code Slam the Gavel for 60% off your first year of Urgent Assist. This is available in all 50 states. I have another announcement. Bradley's mother, Narcisse Golan, passed away in the fall of 2022. Bradley is autistic and needs structured routine and therapies he receives for his autism 6 days a week. However, Italy just entrusted Bradley to the Italian Social Services. If he's ruled to go back, he will face the next 3 to 4 years in the Italian foster care system where he can't speak or understand the language. He will then be taken away from the family he has ever known. Please call Governor Hochul at 518-474-8390, New York State. That's Governor Hochul, 518-474-8390, to please keep Bradley here safe in these United States. Hashtag keep Bradley safe. Last announcement. Go to the site if you can and click on pleasedoyourjob.com. That's pleasedoyourjob.com. We need 2,500 more signatures to get a case reopened. I have a return guest on. I'm very happy to have John Sullivan back on. He was last on the podcast, season 4, episode 2, 18 and 96, where we discussed updates on his case and the transparency and racial issue with Ottawa Impact in Holland, Michigan. However, now John Sullivan has a public defender and things aren't going so well. And this is very important that everyone listen up because this involves disability, being a parent, and providing too much information. So I welcome you back to the podcast, John Sullivan. What's been going on?
Thanks for having me back again, Marianne. Well, a lot's been going on, same things, just a little bit more concerning to me, with the courts, asking for specific information that I find that's highly private and only should be, considered for the person that's dealing with that eyes, not for somebody to have that information to judge this information on you as of to see if you are a fit parent, which they know nothing about you or anything like that, So, like I told you, I got a letter here that, I want to read that I got from the court through attorney Michael A. Spoelman at law in North Muskegon, who's supposed to be representing me. Says, Dear John, please also be reminded to send me copies of any check stubs, bank statements, social security documents, friend of the court documents, and other documentation of any type showing payments by you of child support at any time for on behalf of your children that are involved in this case immediately. Either same to me at the above indicated mailing address, North Muskegon, Michigan, or by email address to me at mikecollectlaw@aol.com. Very truly yours, Michael A. Spoelman. Now, I just find that funny that why would I have to prove any of that to y'all? What is my disability, bank statements, and anything that y'all thinking that I'm not being truthful about? Well, I mean, I'm on disability, so it's nothing to be truthful about. The truth is there. I have the paperwork, and I feel that I don't have to show y'all that, because people with disabilities feel that people take advantage of when they find out what their disabilities are. They want to talk about them, they want to downgrade them, and they want to use that against them as a weapon to break them down even more when
Yes.
they really know nothing about that because they're not doctors. They don't have degrees. They didn't go to school for these things. So they're just assuming things. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I mean, I would think also they could find that information out on their own. I would think. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, tell.
I, I don't know, but I know that that's against the law, for and it
Well,
says for anybody that's on disability, it tells you that this information is for your eyes only. So that's important information. Why would I send information pertaining to me to them? For what? What is the reason to even see any of that? You
you know,
know,
also they should have given you your kids back a long time ago.
they,
You
they, they should have gave me my kids when they took them at 3 o'clock in the morning and gave them to a white couple. They never seen my kids a day in their life. But here they is, they're trying to use that me saying that I haven't seen my kids in 2 years against me, which is the only evidence that you have because that's what I said. Well, yeah, I said that. But look at all the negative things that you guys did to me in the beginning. And
Mhm.
then when I spoke out to try and get help from each and every last one of you guys as supervisors and people of power and senators and my governor and just people that are put in place to handle certain things, certain outcries that they're supposed to be working for the people, for the public. But come to find out, they're not working for the people. They're
Mhm.
working for their friends. They're working for their families. They're working for the scheme to benefit and put money in their pockets off of taking these children and doing these things to people that they feel like can't stand up to them. Well, I'm standing up. I don't have what they would say, oh, you need lots and lots of money to fight these people. No, I have a voice, I have a opinion, and I'm gonna stand on my voice and my opinion because I know what's right and I know what's wrong. And these people are sick, and I don't even understand how these people are still able to have jobs, work with children, be lawyers, judges, social workers, when they're all taking part in doing this to people, especially people of color.
Mhm.
Because I've listened to certain things and I've spoken to certain people like Kelly and Ray that who
Mhm.
also be in with speaking with Kelly, she found a uptick in the state of Michigan that the Department of Health and Human Services and the CPS department is a major uptick in Black and brown people,
Mhm.
specifically Black and brown women here. But Black and brown is
Mhm.
the main thing. And living in this county, I've come to realize that if you're Black or brown, you're not welcome here. You're not wanted here. They might deal with you, act like they appreciate you, but deep down inside, these people here do not like people of color here in Holland, Michigan. And I've come to realize that because how do we say we have constitutional rights? How do we say we have civil rights? And when these are being broken by the people who's supposed to uphold these things, and when the people, us as US citizens, parents of these children, step up and start speaking about this, nobody wants to hear this. Oh, these people are crazy. These people can't raise their children right. They make up all these discriminating documents against the parents just to take the children, just to benefit to put money in their pockets.
Mhm.
But they can go home every day and hug their child, give them a kiss. I got an 8-year-old son that
Mhm.
just recently asked his mother about a field trip and their chaperones. Do you know it broke me down in the inside?
Mm.
because I feel that I couldn't even be a chaperone because they would do background checks on any parents that would want to be a chaperone to go on field trips with their child. So to save the embarrassment or the humiliation of something that I didn't do due to somebody falsifying documents and planning a case on me and go through that humiliation in
Mm.
front of other parents and then have them looking at me like, oh, this guy's abusing children and this, and that. And then now my son's gonna be humiliated every day. And he's 8 years old. But
Mhm.
how do I sit in front of my 8 year old son? Well, when he asked me, Dad, can you be a chaperone for my field trip? So I had to tell my son, well, I can't go on a field trip with you because Ottawa County placed falsified charges on me, which will look bad if anybody looks up a background check and see about me, which is all lies that a CPS worker wrote up against
Mhm.
me. And I've been calling all around. I've called Kalamazoo, Michigan, CPS department, where the case originated in. Nobody's called me back. That's been weeks ago. Nobody's called me back because I'm calling around asking, how do you just put a case on someone when they were never a part of the investigation case or anything, period?
Mhm.
How do you do that? And then how do you keep continuously, like I'm continuously, police are showing up at my house to serve me pieces of paper that I'm already getting in the mail, but they feel like they have to send police to my house just to, you know, like scare me. I'm not scared of no police or them coming to my house. So they're gonna get the same negative response that I've got since the beginning. So there's no reason for them to try and use, oh, he's always loud and aggressive when any of these people approach me. Well, I have the right to be because people don't know what I've been through. None of these other parents that have been through that come to your podcast reaching out for help, they don't know what we're going through.
Mhm.
They don't. I mean, they do because they put these falsified charges on us. They sit back and high five in these cubicles and laugh and
Mhm.
giggle about these things, knowing that these things are all wrong. But they're so stuck with this sovereign immunity, thinking that, oh, if we do these things, well, the federal government says we're scot free, even if we did falsify court documents, even if we did lie under oath in court. Well, how is that possible when you charge people for those things? So, how can somebody, a social worker, be so high and above any
Ugh.
other US American citizen to have a sovereign immunity to say that there's nothing that can be done? No, that's wrong.
Oh, it is.
That's that's wrong.
They're absolutely disgusting individuals, parasites of society.
That's wrong. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. All I do is just like they just had they're still continuing these trials to terminate my parental rights, which I really don't understand why. You can't force somebody to do that. But what I'm getting in these letters from the court is that whatever they're saying, the Department of Health and Human Services and the attorney that's working with them and all these people are connected. See, this is the thing that a lot of people don't know. All these lawyers, judges, police officers, they all are connected in these little gatherings that they have that the public will never know about.
Mhm.
The public will never know about these secret gatherings that they all have with one another to make everybody else go along with the scheme that's already going. So if they're allowed to have these secret meetings and they know they're doing corrupt things, where's the law in America? Well, how do we have any laws when we got people that's putting on judges' robes and all these things to uphold the law? But they're sitting in the courtrooms breaking the law with these people, and then they're okaying
I
It's just it's mind blowing.
and for no one, well, for anyone that has not been through this, they won't understand this until you've gone through what
Oh,
you're going through and what I've been through.
yeah. And this is another thing. I was just speaking to someone yesterday about this because here in Ottawa County, just now they just busted two things here in Michigan about foster parents. Okay, they just recently had on the news just yesterday that they found that these families fostered over 30 children only for financial gain, abused these 30 children, made over $1 million. And one of these people were was a worker for the Michigan of Department of Health and Human Services. So they used to work there. So they knew all the tactics and the things and how to make these, little things just go away without being, but it finally caught up with them. But it's like, I find this stuff highly funny because I reached out
Mhm.
to our Attorney General, Dana Nessel, and it seems like it's only selective things that these people want to go up against. It's all like publicity stunts to these people.
Mhm.
Whatever can make them look good in public. Well, this is something serious that can make you look outstanding. If you can uphold those families for the wrongdoings and that used to be worker who worked in the child protective services field for Michigan, if you can find them accountable for the things they did, why can't you find these other CPS workers accountable? Because if they're doing this, I can just imagine how many cases all over the United States, CPS workers that's doing this to this day have falsified and nobody has challenged it.
Right.
Nobody has challenged it. Nobody knows about these things because they're doing it. And it seems like nobody cares. I've reached out to all the news stations here.
Mhm.
They don't want to speak about it. It seems like it seems like something's holding these people back. Like they're scared of something. They're scared of somebody, scared of something, or like they gonna get in trouble if they put a story out about what a black guy is saying about some things that's going on in the county where they look at Holland, Michigan as a top-notch county, which it's not, because I've got horrible like things that I can show you from so-called, you know, people that live in this town and the surrounding towns. Like I told you about that website, IndianHillsNeighborhood.com. Every state in the United States has this little website. It's called IndianHillsNeighborhoods.com. It's a little site for each neighborhood, whatever state you're living in. You can get on and talk about things, but what I've mainly come to figure out that it's mainly more of like older people on this, but you have young people on there too. But when I spoke up about all this stuff that was happening here in Ottawa County,
Mhm.
yeah, I got a lot of screenshots and you know things that you know people who live around here in this town, Holland, Michigan,
Mhm.
surrounding areas to Holland, Michigan, that's still considered part of Holland, hurtful things that was said to me. Why don't you just move? If you don't like it here, why don't you just move? Why don't you go somewhere else where you can feel happy? But yeah, I got a whole lot of things. And these are all white people. These are all white people saying these things to me. This Sullivan kid's a real bellyacher. Why don't you get out of here with this woke drive? Yeah, I am woke. I'm woke to all the negative things that's
Mhm.
going on here. So I am woke, but I won't get out of here with this woke drive. And I couldn't believe that somebody could say that to me. Get out of here with this woke drive. Oh, like I say, I got screenshots and all kinds of things, you know. So that just lets me know, this it's hurtful to live here, to put on a face every day, and people act like, well, why you don't smile, or what's wrong with you? What's then when you tell them about things, and, ah, well, did you just do what they wanted you to do? See, that's the thing.
Mhm.
When you get in trouble with CPS,
Mm.
when you get in trouble, that's the main thing. When you, not when you imaginary, or when they just falsify or just forced. When you, man or woman, whichever person gets in trouble with CPS, they have to do the things that CPS is asking them to do. Not, okay, I got in trouble, he got in trouble, but these two people over here were never involved, but now those two people are in trouble. I've never heard of nothing like this. And this is the kind of situation that I'm in. My kid's mother, and then they're making accommodations for my kid's mother. And she's the reason why all this mess is created. She got in trouble. She was not taking care of my kids right. So they say. So
Mhm.
if she wasn't doing that, why you didn't bring me my kids? And after y'all got done dealing with her, whatever assumption y'all came to conclude with her, my kids could have been okay. But now they trying to make it seem like I don't have enough money to take care of my children because I have a disability. I can't take care of my children.
And
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 because of what they believe and feel that's best for my children, I can't do what they feel and believe.
and I also
So
believe they're looking at your race as well.
yeah, it's all a part of this. It's
And
it's all a part of this.
I
It's no
found
secret.
right, and I found that case you were talking about, 2 DeWitt couples charged in child abuse conspiracy, Lansing, Michigan, the
Yeah,
Michigan Attorney's General Office, and this is only 19 hours ago.
yeah,
Okay, has issued charges against 4 people from DeWitt, including a former child advocate for the state, alleging they conspired to adopt dozens of children who they went on to abuse. And
yeah,
it says Joel and Tammy Brown and Jerry and Tamal Floor each face
yeah,
multiple counts of child abuse. They have until Friday to turn themselves in.
yeah,
Attorney General Dana Nessel said at the Monday news conference, the allegations in this matter are heinous and egregious. Between these two
yeah,
families, more than 30 children who had already
yeah,
previously removed from abusive homes were placed in the suspect's care through fostering or adoption. The 2 couples went on to subject the children, to prolonged and routine systemic mental and physical abuse under guise of discipline, and all for personal and financial gain, in quotes, Nessel said. She said the 2 couples easily manipulated the adoption and fostering system to receive more than $1 million tax-free from the state. That's from the taxpayers. Taxpayers, wake up.
yeah, yeah.
Oh
So
my.
this is what they're doing. This is what they're doing. They're taking children, giving them to the people that to let them just benefit off of. Taking the children from the parents that care about their children and giving them to people like that that don't care nothing about those kids but what they can gain off of. Put them through all this abuse,
Mhm.
rape,
Mhm.
anything. All that goes on because it's not just young boys. It's boys, young boys and girls.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And that happens both ways,
Uh-huh.
not just with the little girls, the boys too.
Mhm.
And that's sick.
Oh.
And that's sad that these people work to do this just to help benefit these kind of people. That kind of brings me to the movie Sound of Freedom that I saw.
Mhm.
Okay. That's what's making me think. Because at the end of that movie, they said the United States is the major supplier of funding money towards all those allegations that were brought up in that movie. They said we are the major supporter of the things that they put out in that movie, we are the major supporters, the United States. So we have people in these higher up places, as we can see that was in that movie,
Mm-hmm.
that likes to do things to children like this. And these could be these judges, these could be these lawyers, these caseworkers, their friends that they're trying to help benefit or get children because they want some children so bad, they'll do anything to help their people,
Mm-hmm.
but won't do anything to help the parent that's supposed to have their children, that's going to love their child the way that a parent will love their child, not giving, like I said, you gave my kids to a white family that never seen them, and just because I said I haven't seen my kids in 2 years, you holding me accountable and said that I abandoned them and did all these falsified things, which, and you never showed me any proof.
Mm-mm.
Like I still have no proof in my hand to any of the allegations, which I should. If y'all said I did all these things, but I just find that highly funny when this was my kid's mother's case. So how could I be charged for all the things that was going on when she had my children living with her in her care, an hour and a half away from I stay at in Holland, Michigan, been staying here at this same address for over 12 years, been paying child support for a very long time
Mm-hmm.
for my children that they took. But
So
here it is, they
yeah,
say,
therefore you didn't abandon them.
right, they said that I do nothing.
Oh, and going back to that story, these parents
I
with
do nothing
kids,
for my children. I
yeah,
participate in any of those things that the CPS workers wanted me to do. Now I'm at fault because that makes me look like a I'm not participating, non-participating parent into the things that they, which I don't have to do because I was never in trouble. All those things you asking me to do, you should be having the mother do.
right.
Oh, and they just made accommodations for the mother because she came to court, which I'm finding it's just all a circus
It is.
because she just recently had another child with somebody. Okay, she just recently gave birth, but they making accommodations for her. And the reason why I'm sitting here doing these podcasts with you and have been the last three is due to her messing up with them. But here it is, well, because she had a baby, we're going to accommodate what does that matter? She made what does that matter? Why y'all not asking her what does she do? What is she doing with the money that I'm paying?
That and this Title IV funding, these incentives
Right,
that foster parents are collecting.
right. And see, that's another funny thing that you just
Yeah.
said. My kids are not with their mother, and here it is that when I ask Van Buren County, which is in Paw Paw, Michigan, where I pay child support to, Lisa Kissinger is my caseworker. You know, when I called this lady and asked her why is these people doing this, because you can speak up too, man.
Mhm.
You work in this field too, and and it's like I told you, these people are all together.
Oh,
These
yes.
people are all together. You know, she tried to only give me a printout of my child support payments for only 1 year. I said, no, ma'am. I haven't been only paying child support on them kids for no 1 year. I need all my pages.
Mhm, mhm.
And it's like you have to yell and get aggressive with these people over the phone for them to understand you
Right.
because
Because
they feel
yeah,
like, they want you to talk like, oh, this and hi and this. They want you to talk like a little kid, like you have to respect them. But when
nice
you
nice gets you nowhere.
yeah, when you asking for certain things that you know that they can do and they want to beat around the bush and play you like, oh, we can't do it, then it's like you have to get loud. You
Mhm.
you gotta get loud. You gotta get angry. Because if I didn't get loud and angry, I wouldn't have all this paperwork right here from Van Buren County that I asked for. This is not just 1 year's. worth of child support payments to my children's mother. That's multiple years of counting. Still to this day. Still to this day. So
Wow.
and
Wow.
this judge and the judge Mark A. Finn, I'm still not understanding how. Where's his mindset at? I thought these people went to school to uphold these jobs that they got. They like nobody cares about an oath.
No.
Nobody cares about a constitution.
Mm-mm.
Nobody cares about rights.
No.
So we have no rights.
And another thing about those people with the financial gain with all these foster kids they felt they had to have, there were charges that stem from abuse dating back to 2007
Yeah.
on the one couple. It says the Browns and Flores were previously charged with child abuse out of Clinton County. So they already
Yeah.
had, okay, so they're not doing child abuse clearances. They're not doing child abuse clearances on any of these foster parents. So you don't
They
know.
just giving it to the kids.
No.
They just giving the kids to these people.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
And they also just had a adoption day here in Ottawa
yes.
County where they posted that all over the news. And they had the judge who's doing all this falsified stuff. They had him all over the news like he's a saint or a superhero with kids sitting on his lap and,
Ew.
all in the courtrooms with the families and, he laughing and giggling on camera. And but yeah, you're adopting our kids to these people who don't care, who don't care.
You have got to get your kids back. You have got to get them back.
Yeah, well, I've been trying, and it's like uh, they still trying to terminate my parental rights, and like they supposed to have a trial tomorrow, which I'm not gonna be there because these people are sick.
Uh,
They trying to force me to come to all these court dates, and I haven't been going because I haven't did anything wrong.
and
And it's funny that nobody has woken up to this. It's just heartbreaking, man. Because I've watched a lot of parents other than just myself on your podcasts, and you know, a lot of these stories is just mind blowing. That
right.
like people that serve their country, dealing with these like how do you do somebody like that risked his life for us to even be there? You know, like how do you just throw falsified documents against a veteran
Mhm, mhm,
that served his country with honor?
mhm.
That was sad when I watched that podcast that you had with that veteran.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I,
Early.
I'm still watching the podcasts.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Because you
I'm
mentioned
still watching.
our good friend Kelly Patton, because she's
Yeah,
helped you too.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She's awesome. Her and Ray C.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my
But
goodness.
it's just like they explain to us like they exhausted all the correct ways, and it's like people. It's like it's mind blowing to them too that it's like it's all coming from the top. It's like all these people
Yep.
know about it, but it's like some type of secret. Because I like I said, I find it highly funny that no news agency wants to push this out there. Like, what's going to be harmful with coming to talk to me about this? But like I just told you, the attorney general just busted these families for doing this kind of stuff. And one of these people was a CPS worker for the Michigan Department of Health and Human Services. So I mean, if that was so crucial for her to get on board and sound off about that, what's wrong with me and all these other parents getting that same kind of recognition?
Mhm.
Why do we have to feel like we got to pay $1 million, $50,000, $1.5 million, like that lady who was on your podcast that said she was rich off of in the electro market, like tech market, and she made all this money, and she spent $1.5 million, and it just all went down the drain because she come to find out that all these lawyers work to they're all connected. It's like they got this brotherhood like police
Yeah.
do when they want to be corrupt to you.
Yep.
It's like a brotherhood. And it's like amongst the lawyers, the judges, it's amongst all these people that's supposed to be helping the people, but you're not helping the people.
No, they're not at
So,
all. And
no,
I'm grateful to the reporters who reported on the couples charged in the child abuse conspiracy, Kay Holloway and Rachel Van Gilder. And
yeah,
I'm just so grateful to them for even exposing this.
yeah, yeah.
Ah, this
But
is
it's
terrible.
sad that I sent those same two people my story too about these kind of situations, and it's like no, nobody cares. Nobody cares, man.
I
No,
do.
nobody
Uh,
cares.
I'm going to get your story out, and I did because I featured you in my book, Raised by These Wolves,
Oh yeah,
and
and
I'm glad
I
I
got
have
that
you.
copy. I thank you for that copy. I do have that, and yeah, that's amazing thing to just have that to pull that out. I keep that in a safe place.
Mhm.
So
Oh, I'm sorry
but
you're going through this. You should have your kids. You should have your kids. I've
yeah,
okay.
Holland, Michigan says that because I guess I don't make whatever enough money is considered to them, and I'm, I'm just not a good parent because I'm disabled. Those are the two allegations that they made against me. So
Yeah, that's terrible. If there's,
yeah,
I won't keep you all day, but if you had any advice to give any parent, what would you tell them right now, now that all this has happened to you? What would you say?
well, what I tell you is it don't take money to get a point across
Mhm.
because your voice is everything. As long as you speak on it and you stand on it and you believe in it, that's the only thing I can say. So you just got to stand on what you believe. You got to stand up to these people. It don't take money to stand up to these people, and it shouldn't take money to stand up to these people when they're doing these things to us corruptly. So
Mhm.
just stand up to these people with your voice. Show them that you're not going back down. Don't worry about them saying, "Oh, he's yelling, he's angry." I do it all the time. Anytime any of these people approach me, because I'm not taking any of the bullshit no more.
Mhm.
I'm not playing their game. It's all a game they want you to play. Never signed any of their paperwork to
Yeah,
participate in
correct.
any of their games. So now they're trying to take my parental rights due to just off of what somebody said.
But
That's not gonna happen.
but yet your ex can go and have another baby.
Right. She just had another baby and they accommodated something for her to because she came to court. Oh, because she came to the last court date that they just had after she just recently had a baby. So they feel like because she did that, I need to be shown. I don't have to show up. She needs to show up. My kids should have been with me while y'all were handling her. And
Right.
then if she didn't do the things that y'all needed her to do for y'all, then my kids would have still been okay with me. But this is the shocker part to you before we go. My kids haven't been with their mother for 2 years. They've been in foster care. And they're still saying that I'm paying her child support, which I know I'm not. I'm paying whoever these foster people are, and they will not put these people's names on any of the paperwork. So they're still just making it seem like I'm paying the mother, and she doesn't even have any of her children. Only the new baby, I guess, that she just recently had. So that's a shocking part to me that I can't find out who's taking my money,
Mhm.
but you're saying that it's going to their mother, which is not going to.
Oh,
Yeah. So they keep those people's secrets from the parents. They don't want you to know who the foster parents are and all this. Now they're trying to pass this law to where foster parents can take action against the biological parents. And now here in Ottawa County, they're trying to get Ottawa Impact members to get their CDL licenses, and the county will pay for it. Like like they're in danger of something. What do you guys need CPL licenses for? And the county will pay for it at an annual cost of $2,000 for each board of commissioners. See, Ottawa Impact is a group of parents that had money that called themselves coming together because their children's schools made their mass mandates, and these parents was against that. So all these parents just came together, made this little coalition called Ottawa Impact. That's all Ottawa Impact is. I don't look at them like they're anybody higher up or any. They're just regular people like me, you, and any other parents. But because they all got a little money, they're fit to see they're better than the rest. Man, that's bullshit. And
Mhm.
I hate living in Holland, Michigan. And
Oh,
I am a black man. This is coming from a black man. That Holland, Michigan is looked as tulip time every year. Come here other than tulip time. Any black people, brown people, any white people that don't have racism in their heart, come here with some of your black friends or your brown friends and just record some things. Send your black friend or your brown friend off somewhere without you in the distance and record the way the white people around here will treat them. I go in the stores every day around here, hand somebody my money in their hand. You know what happens? They put your money on the counter and slide it up to you.
yeah. I'm so sorry. Thought,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah. I thought slavery was over
yeah,
too,
I
but
was just gonna say that. You took the words right out of my mouth. Hey,
but I,
how can people
yeah.
reach you if they have any questions?
Well, my email, lowercase js 113656 at gmail.com.
Okay. And that's JS113656 at Gmail.
Yep, yep.
Hey, don't jump off, okay?
Okay.
Slam the Gavel's a podcast, help the public understand what really goes on in these family courtrooms and CPS. I am your host, Marianne Petrie, author of Dismantling Family Court Corruption, Why Taking the Kids Was Not Enough, and Cry Out for Justice, Poems of Truth. And Raised by These Wolves, How Family and Federal Courts Are Failing Our Children. Please join us again here with John Sullivan, because I'm having you back for another episode and other exciting guests. You can find me on Spotify, YouTube, Apple, iTunes, and Anchor FM. Thank you so much for John Sullivan for coming back on to the podcast. Thank you.
Thank you, Mary.